Which mass-produced car is the fastest in the world today? How fast does an airbag deploy? What is the best-selling sports car in the world? What is the most expensive car in the world at the moment? Who is the largest car manufacturer in the world? All this and more in our video 100 plus facts about cars. The Benz patent motorwagen is the world's first automobile, created in 1885 by German inventor and engineer Carl Benz, built at the Benz NC factory. On January 29, 1886, he received a patent for his car, and on July 3, 1886, he showed the car to the general public for the first time on the Ringstrasse in Mannheim. A modern average car consists of about 30,000 parts. The first mass-produced car was the Ford Model T, which was produced from 1908 to 1927. Prior to that, cars were made by teams of craftsmen individually and cost a lot of money. In 1924, a Ford Model T cost only $265. The most expensive new car in the world sold from the showroom today is the Rolls-Royce La Rose Noire Droptail. The cost of this model is $32 million. This model offers the highest level of luxury and special attention to detail. The second place in the ranking was taken by Rolls-Royce Boat Tail, worth more than $28 million. The chic convertible was made to order for the star couple Jay-Z and Beyoncé. In general, the most expensive car in the world can be safely considered a supercar of its time, the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR. At a private auction in the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Stuttgart, the car was sold for $142 million. The price of the Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR is due to the fact that only 2 of these cars were produced. The cars were planned to be used in Le Mans races, but after a serious accident, Mercedes gave up motorsport for a long time. Later, the car was bought by its creator, Rudolf Uhlenhaut, who used it every day as an everyday car. After his death, the car went to the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Stuttgart and was later put up for auction. The first ever speeding ticket still brings a smile to our faces today. It was issued on January 28, 1896. It happened in London. Walter Arnold accelerated to 13 km per hour in a place where the speed limit was 3.2 km per hour. A British policeman easily caught up with the car on a bicycle and fined the offender 1 shilling. The world's first traffic light was installed on December 9, 1868, in London, near the British Parliament, long before the proliferation of cars. Its inventor, J.P. Knight, was a railroad semaphore specialist. The device had 2 semaphore wings and was operated manually. When raised horizontally, they signified a stop signal, and when lowered at a 45 degrees angle, they signified caution. In the dark, a rotating gas lantern was used to give red and green signals, respectively. The traffic light was used to facilitate pedestrian crossing, and its signals were intended for horse-drawn vehicles. Unfortunately, on January 2, 1869, the gas lantern of the traffic light exploded and injured the policeman who was operating it. In the 19th century, the first road traffic accident victim was recorded. In 1899, a pedestrian, Henry Bliss, was hit by a taxi in New York City. He became the first victim of a fatal car accident. The smallest production car in the world is the Peel P50, which was produced in England in 1962. It is 134 centimeters long, 99 centimeters wide, and 120 centimeters high. The car has 3 wheels, 1 door, and 1 headlight. Only 1 person could sit in it. On October 23, 1970, the American Harry Gabelick broke the 1,000-kilometer speed limit for the first time in a Blue Flame rocket car on the dried-up Bonneville Salt Lake, showing an average speed of 1,014.3 kilometers per hour. The Blue Flame was 11.3 meters long and weighed 2,250 kilograms. The VW Käfer, or the world-famous VW Beetle, is a lower middle-class passenger car model from the Volkswagen brand that was produced from late 1938 until the summer of 2003. With more than 21.5 million cars sold, it was the best-selling car in the world before being surpassed by the VW Golf in June 2002. The New York Times may have first used the English term Beetle in a July 3, 1938 article describing a vision of thousands and thousands of shiny little beetles that will soon populate German roads. The design of the rear engine model was refreshed, but the overall construction and styling remained unchanged. On June 28, 1926, Carl Benz's company Benz NC and Gottlieb Daimler's DMG merged to form Daimler-Benz, renaming all their cars Mercedes-Benz in honor of DMG's best model, the 35-horsepower Mercedes of 1902, and in honor of Carl Benz. The Mercedes car was named after Mercedes Jelinek, the daughter of Emil Jelinek, one of Daimler's partners who had set the specifications for the new car. Daimler's three-pointed star, which stood for engines for land, air, and water, surrounded by a laurel sprig from Benz's emblem, became the logo of the new company. The longest car in the world is a 30.5-meter-long limousine. The first road signs were created for cyclists. And if we talk about the first road signs for motorists, they were officially approved in 1909 at the International Conference in Paris. There were only 4 of them, analogues of the modern signs: uneven road, dangerous turns, intersection of equivalent roads, and railway crossing. At that time, the conference decided to install these road signs 250 meters from the dangerous area. The first traffic rules were developed by the American William Phelps Eno, although he had never been a driver himself. The fastest production car is the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus, with a top speed of 490.48 km per hour. To upholster the interior of a Bentley Mulsanne, you need to slaughter 18 cows. For most models of other brands, much less animal skin is used. We have long been unable to imagine traveling without music, but the first radio in a car appeared only in 1930, and it was necessary to pay a lot of money for its installation, about 1/6 of the cost of the entire car. The Thrust SSC is a British jet-powered car designed by Richard Noble, Glenn Bosher, Ron Ayres, and Jeremy Bliss. It is the first car to break the sound barrier according to the rules of the World Motor Racing Organization. Thrust SSC is 16.5 meters long, 3.7 meters wide, and weighs 10.5 tons. The car was driven by Royal Air Force fighter pilot Andy Green. The land speed record was set on October 15, 1997, in the Black Rock Desert, Nevada, USA, on a special 21-kilometer-long track. The speed of the car reached 1,228 km per hour. A taxi driver from Greece has driven an amazing 4.58 million kilometers in a 1976 Mercedes-Benz W115-240D. Today, this is the largest automobile mileage recorded in the history of this type of transport. He donated his well-deserved car to the museum and received a new one as a gift. Not only Apple likes to patent every little thing in its devices. It's hard to believe, but the British sports car brand AC Cobra patented the sound of its exhaust system at the dawn of its formation. It was done at the request of the technical director. The latter was convinced that the exhaust sound was the second most important detail in the individuality of each car after the design. The largest car manufacturer in the world is Toyota. The longest traffic jam in history lasted 12 days. In 2010, drivers were stuck for 100 kilometers between Beijing and Tibet because of a car accident. To be fair, none of the drivers actually spent 12 days in the traffic jam. The cars were moving at a speed of about 5 kilometers per hour. Some cars were stuck in this traffic jam for 3 days. The cause of the traffic jam is trivial. It was not an accident or even a natural disaster. It's just that many Beijingers decided to go out of town for the weekend, and there were tractors with oversized cargo moving along this road, which took up several lanes at once. The record traffic jam was recorded in February 1980 near Paris, when the beginning of the holidays was spoiled by bad weather and numerous accidents. As a result, a 175-kilometer traffic jam formed on the Paris-Lyon highway, with several million cars stuck in it. The first car to exceed 100 kilometers per hour was the electric car La Jamais Contente in 1899. The car airbag deploys at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour. The first cruise control was invented by a blind engineer Ralph Titer. The first car with cruise control was the 1958 Chrysler Imperial. BMW's logo symbolizes a rotating airplane propeller, as the company started out as an aircraft engine manufacturer. The best-selling electric car in the world is the Tesla Model 3. The first production car with a diesel engine was the Mercedes-Benz 260D in 1936. The longest mileage of a car without major repairs is more than 3 million miles on the Volvo P1800. The largest exporter of cars is Germany. The largest importer of cars is the United States. The best-selling sports car in the world is the Ford Mustang. The most economical gasoline car is the Mitsubishi Mirage. The first car with a GPS navigation system was released by Mazda Uno's Cosmo in 1990. The American company Goodyear, Japanese Bridgestone, French Michelin, German Continental, and Italian Pirelli are the 5 manufacturers of car tires that have been leaders in this industry for many years. The largest automobile market in the world is China. The best-selling car brand in the world is Volkswagen. From the early 2000s until his death, Steve Jobs drove only Mercedes-Benz SL55 AMG cars, and without license plates. The fact is that according to California law, 6 months are given to install license plates. Jobs entered into an agreement with a car dealership, according to which he took a new SL55 and returned the old one. The car dealership benefited from the fact that the car purchased under Jobs' management could be sold for more than a new one. The first car with electric headlights was the Columbia electric car in 1908. The first car with a radio was the Chevrolet in 1922. The first car with an automatic transmission was the Oldsmobile in 1940. The first car with anti-lock brakes (ABS) was produced by Chrysler in 1971. The first car with seat belts was produced by Nash Motors in 1949. The first car with an airbag was the 1973 Oldsmobile Toronado. The first production hybrid car was the Toyota Prius, released in 1997. The first air-conditioned car was produced by Packard in 1940. The best-selling pickup truck in the world is the Ford F-Series. The first car with a rear-view camera was the 1956 Buick Centurion concept car. Vantablack car paint absorbs 99.965% of visible light. Lime green is considered a safety color because it is best seen on the road. The best-selling crossover in the world is the Toyota RAV4. The first car with an automatic parking system was released by Toyota in 2003. The first turbocharged car was the Oldsmobile Jetfire in 1962. The first car with a night vision system was the Cadillac DeVille in 2000. The first car with electric windows was a Packard in 1940. The first car with an automatic braking system was released by Volvo in 2006. The first car with a panoramic roof was the Nash Airflight in 1949. The first car with a traffic sign recognition system was the BMW 7 Series in 2008. The most aerodynamic production car is the Mercedes-Benz EQS. The first car with start-stop system was produced by Toyota in 1974. On average, a car travels about 20,000 kilometers per year. The first car with laser headlights was the BMW i8 in 2014. The best-selling luxury car brand is Mercedes-Benz. The first car with a driver support system was produced by Mercedes-Benz in 1998. The first car with an automatic parking system was the Lexus LS460 in 2006. The first car with an autonomous driving system was the Google self-driving car in 2009. The first car with an adaptive cruise control system was released by Mitsubishi in 1992. The first car with a pedestrian recognition system was released by Volvo in 2010. The average time a person spends looking for a parking space is about 17 hours a year. Volvo was the first company to patent a seat belt with 3 anchor points and made the right to use its design free of charge for all car manufacturers. The best-selling car color after white is black. The first car with a voice recognition system to control functions was the Mercedes-Benz S-Class in 1996. The average person spends 2 weeks of their life waiting for a green traffic light. The best-selling car of all time is the Toyota Corolla. The average car spends 95% of its time in a parking lot. Elon Musk is not actually the founder of Tesla. However, he is undoubtedly the heart and brain of the company. The company was founded under the name Tesla Motors on July 1, 2003 by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. On average, a car consists of 47% steel and iron. Overall, the automotive industry uses about 15% of the world's steel production. The first car with a driver fatigue monitoring system was released by Volvo in 2007. The first car with a collision warning system was produced by Honda in 2003. The first car with active steering was produced by BMW in 2003. The average time a driver spends in traffic every year is about 42 hours. The first car with a cross-traffic warning system was the Infiniti EX35 in 2007. Crossovers are the best-selling car segment in the world. The first car with a gesture recognition system was the BMW 7 Series in 2015. On average, a car loses 20% of its value in the first year of operation. The first car with automatic emergency braking was the Volvo XC60 in 2008. The largest manufacturer of automobile engines is Toyota. The first car with a windshield information projection system was produced by Oldsmobile in 1988. The first car with a parking system was the Toyota Prius in 2003. The first car with a remote-controlled automatic parking system was the BMW 7 Series in 2015. Electric cars are the fastest-growing segment of the automotive market. The first car with a Level 3 autonomous driving system was released by Honda Legend in 2021. On average, a car contains about 55 kilograms of plastic. The first car with a wireless smartphone charging system was the Toyota Avalon in 2012. The most energy-efficient car is the Hyundai Ioniq Electric. The average American spends about 290 hours driving every year. The first car with keyless entry was produced by Renault in 1982. On average, a car contains about 30 kilograms of rubber. The most recycled part of a car is the battery. The first car with a lane departure warning system was the Nissan Sima in 2001. The automotive industry is the largest consumer of lead in the world. In the United States, the number of cars exceeds the number of driver's licenses. The first car with a blind spot monitoring system was the Volvo XC90 in 2005. On average, a car consumes 0.3 liters of fuel while idling for 10 minutes. The most popular car color in the world is white. The most environmentally friendly car is the hydrogen Toyota Mirai. The first car with traction control was produced by Buick in 1971.